officially the 8th of July 2025. It's come around about 8:30 in the morning. And yesterday was a really interesting day because I found this cloud that looked... I'd rarely even see this type of cloud. It had like a hole through it. Look, at the time, I said it was what was called a fall streak, which is basically a hole going through the clouds. And if you go back through my old time lapse, you can just about see that happening. Whether or not that's actually to do with aircraft is the other thing. But nevertheless, it was a really strange cloud in the sky. But it was an unusual cloud. But again, we can trace them back through many, many years. So today, as like I said, we are the 8th. Let's check out the sky because it is filled with No, I'm joking. It's actually clear blue sky. Look at that. Whee! Oh, hold on. There, back in focus. There we go. Look at that. From the mainstream media would say, or the mainstream science would say, that there is lack of humidity or moisture in the atmosphere, hence why we have no clouds in the sky. Oh, hold on, look, we've got one cloud there. Okay, so it could get cloudier, it might stay clear. This is what it says on the weather forecast for the remainder of the day. Bear in mind, this is the Met Office, and you should take their conclusions on the weather with a very pinch of salt. And what we have, so the Met Office is the UK's global forecast for weather. That's what it is. So all the mainstream media look into the Met Office. This is what I'm showing you from their website. But again, there is 50-50. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. And this is what it's saying at the moment. So the Met Office is saying it should be clear sky from 10 o'clock, according to the Met Office. Whether or not that's actually true or not, time will tell. But nevertheless, it's going to be a beautiful week. So there we have it. So far, so good. We have crystal clear blue sky and that sun is shining. With my beautiful lily starting to pop out. Today is a fantastic day. Let's hope it stays. As we're 8:30, we're early in the morning. Normally we'll see clear blue skies and then clouds start to come into fruition. But what can we learn so far? We do have clouds in the background. Right there, okay? So that's a sign for me that there is moisture rising up into the atmosphere and it's going to create something called cloud nuclei. And the people in the chemtrail community don't believe that, but that as a natural real science is moisture rising up and it reacts with the atmosphere, and that's called cloud nuclei. So as that moisture, if it still continues, it will rise up, get higher, 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 until maybe we will see cirrus clouds. What I'm going to show at the moment is this puffy cloud here. It's only a base level of 5,000 to even like 6,000 feet, and you can see an aircraft right there, which is traveling a lot higher, obviously, around probably about 20,000 feet, or if it's probably most likely going to London airports, it's probably traveling about 25,000 feet. So the moisture hasn't risen high enough yet to around about 25,000 feet or 20,000 feet. So once we see cirrus, so this is called cumulus, these are the puffy clouds that we all know, and cirrus is these wispy effects that we've been seeing for God knows how many years. I have returned once again. We are 12 o'clock, we are lunchtime, feeling a bit peckish. Now there's one phrase I keep on hearing over and over again. Not everyone's saying this, but weather has been manipulated 24/7. Well, if I put the camera up into the sky, guess what? It's clear blue sky. Another phrase I keep on hearing about the fact that blue skies is a rare phenomena. Now, how do we know that? Look, we wasn't observing what the weather was like back when we were kids. If you're middle-aged or if you're elderly, you've been to this planet for 70 years, you understand in England weather changes for sure, but no one was really observing what weather was like. Blue skies do happen, we do get them. People say it's rare. I'm like, what do you mean by rare? What would you say is rare? Like once a year, twice a year? The amount of times I see blue skies like this must have been like over a week's worth already, and for England that's pretty good, going to be honest with you. Sure, it can be a lot better, but remember during the first lockdown in England, I think it was like either March or April, or maybe May, the whole month was like 23 degrees. Obviously we had no air traffic, and it was the best skies we've ever seen, so you've got to take that into consideration. But that was the only time really we had clear blue skies. In fact, there was another time when a volcano ash started to sweep its way towards England. I think that was like around about 2010 maybe. And I remember sitting with my band and looking up at the blue sky and thinking, God, it's crystal clear blue sky. Never seen anything like it. So that is a rarity. But blue skies like this do happen. They do. And I have noticed that in the past couple of years. Right, I am back at the lovely golf course. And so far, it's looking absolutely gorgeous. It's really hot. It's really nice. And hence the grass really needs a dash of water. It's completely brown, and this week is, like I said, it's going to be 30 degrees. Well, reaching up to 30 degrees, which is hot for English people because they end up complaining, like I will, most likely. Oh no, I will. I will complain at most point. But nevertheless, we have clear skies to a certain degree. Got a bit of cirrus up there, so there is a little bit of moisture. So maybe the chances of trails being formed in the evening might be on the cards here. So as we are Tuesday, I think we're Tuesday, yes, Tuesday, we've got the rest of the week, and every single day is going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. I want to see those trails, baby. I know people get scared about them, but I know I want to see it. I want to see those signposts in the sky, the word that I cannot mention, even though I talk about the subject. Enjoy weather like this. For the people in England pissing and moaning, just enjoy the bloody weather, for Christ's sake. It's hot, it's gorgeous. I am back once again. I should stop saying that. Yeah, trails amongst with, what's that, cirrus, looks like to me. Yeah, what a interesting, lovely day. Well, not really interesting, it's been a lovely day. Really fantastic. And no trails. Well, there's one like right there. Look, it's so faint. There we go. But it has been a lovely day. I've returned. It's come up to around about 6 o'clock, and we can see some trails. But all in all, it's a pretty good sky. So yeah, trails in the evening, once again. Right, what do we have so far? It's coming up to 6:45. Cirrus. Obviously with the trails as well. A few of them. Yeah. It's kind of hard to tell once we review the time-lapse camera. But so far, let's have a look. Oh, we've got something there. There you go. I'm not on a tripod, so it's a bit shaky, do apologise. Yeah, okay. Nothing to get too worried about. Well, there we go so far. Here we go. So tomorrow is the same outcome. And it'll be really interesting to see whether or not it might be an extremely traily day. The first thing you would notice, well I would notice, is round about 5 o'clock. I'm going to leave the time-lapse camera running all night. I'm not going to switch it off. And we can see what the outcome is in the morning. So as soon as we see trails around about 5 o'clock, then we know it may be a traily day. Because sometimes, it's not normally the case, but when it's like this, load of cirrus, excuse me, with trails, right there, that's more or less like a blanket, and it lingers throughout the night. Indication there is moisture in the atmosphere. Therefore the cirrus, therefore the trails. Just saying, you know. Remember CCT, cirrus cloud thinning. Oh, that's interesting, see what that is. Might be a trail or mix of a blend together. Hello, I am back. It's coming up to 9 o'clock in the evening. So far, what do we have in the sky? Cirrus, Trell, and a bunch more cirrus. Here's some pictures of some cirrus. And yeah, there we go. So another fine day, and hopefully this week should be another fine days to come. It's that time again. Let's analyze the time lapse. Now, not a lot of stuff was going on that specific day, but let's just go through it anyway, because I think it's quite interesting to see what will happen in the evening. There were just tiny little clouds, But the vast majority of the day was pretty much clear. Let's skip ahead. It is a beautiful day. You can just about make out there's some sort of haze. However, that might be the camera making that effect. It's kind of hard to tell. No, actually, it kind of looks like cloud. A very fine, very, very fine mist. You can just about make out that the clouds are coming to fruition, which means that the moisture is rising slightly, but not enough to actually form the clouds. You can just about make out. See there? It's trying to, but it's not enough moisture. Let's skip ahead. Here we go. This point on in the evening, we had some cirrus. This is your typical cirrus. And there's the trails. Let's just go back. Remember when I said you're going to find cirrus, you're going to find trails. Boom. See? Right there. That's a typical cirrus being built up in the atmosphere. You can see right there being built up. And then you have the trails in the mix of that. And again, and that is when I noticed the trails started to form. There's one right there. That white haze. This is a tricky one because you've got a trail and you've got something that looks like a trail. However, that is obviously expanding. But if you keep an eye out for this bit here, it's difficult to see what is a trail. Like one there is one there. A safe bet to say that all of this is a mix of trails and cirrus building up. We're coming into nighttime now. And here's the morning after. A final conclusion on the 8th of July 2025. Very small trails in the evening and a little bit of cloud on this so-called heat wave we're having in the duration of this week. We are the Wednesday, and I think by tomorrow or Friday, it's picking up to 30 degrees, and apparently it's supposed to reach 33 degrees. And that's going to be a really hot day for me. I will be bitching and complaining because it's going to be too hot. I'm English. What do you expect? So there we have it. I shall see you next time on the Cosmic Twilight and Investigate with Nick. See you very soon.